It's 1942. World War II is raging across the globe. One group forms the core of the US Army, the Infantry Squad. These small teams of 12 men are the front line of America's might. They face the enemy directly, endure the worst of the fighting, and risk everything for freedom. To understand the US Army in World War II, we have to understand the squad. It's here, in the middle of the battle, that wars are won and lost, heroes are made, and the true cost of war is paid. This is their story. In 1942, a US Army squad was like a well-oiled machine, each man with a crucial role. Leading the squad was the squad leader, a sergeant, responsible for his men's lives and actions. His second in command, the corporal, was ready to take charge if the sergeant went down. The squad's main firepower came from the three-man Browning automatic rifle team. The BAR man, armed with the powerful M1918A2, provided a steady stream of cover fire. He was supported by his assistant BAR man, who carried extra ammo and another M1 Garand rifle for added punch. The ammunition bearer made sure the BAR never stopped firing, feeding belts of bullets into the battle. The remaining 7 men were the riflemen, the heart of the squad. Armed with their own M1 Garands, they provided the bulk of the squad's firepower. 2 of these men were scouts, going ahead to gather information and provide early warnings about enemy movements. The 12-man squad of World War II didn't appear overnight. It was shaped by the harsh lessons learned in the trenches of World War I. In that earlier war, the platoon was the main fighting unit, with squads organized around specific weapons. But the static nature of trench warfare changed to the fast-moving maneuver warfare of World War II. The US Army adapted, reorganizing the squad into 3 separate fire teams: Able, Baker, and Charlie. Able team, the scouts, were the eyes and ears of the squad. Baker team with the BAR provided the heavy firepower. Charlie team, the riflemen, were the maneuver element, engaging the enemy with disciplined fire and movement. This new structure aimed to balance concentrated firepower with tactical flexibility. It wasn't perfect. Casualties among squad leaders were high, leaving their men without a leader at critical times. Coordinating the fire teams, especially during battle, could be difficult. But the 12-man squad proved itself again and again, becoming the standard for infantry organization in the US Army. The success of the US Army squad in World War II wasn't just because of its organization or the bravery of its men. It also depended heavily on the quality of its equipment. The American industrial machine, known as the Arsenal of Democracy, produced vast amounts of weapons and gear, making sure that the US Army was the best equipped fighting force in the world. The squad's main weapon was the M1 Garand rifle, a semi-automatic marvel that gave American soldiers a significant advantage in firepower over their enemies who used bolt-action rifles. The M1918, a 2 Browning automatic rifle, although sometimes criticized for its limited ammo capacity, provided much-needed automatic firepower at the squad level. And while a dedicated rifle grenade launcher for the M1 Garand was still being developed, the reliable M1903 rifle, modified to fire grenades, gave the squad a necessary explosive punch. Beyond their weapons, each man carried essential gear helmets, canteens, entrenching tools, ammunition belts and first aid kits. Every item, from the sturdy combat boots to the waterproof ponchos, was designed to help the soldier survive the harsh realities of combat. The battlefield is a chaotic and unforgiving place. To survive, the infantry squad relies on tactical formations, each designed for specific situations. In the middle of a fight, the squad might use a wedge formation, focusing its firepower to the front. This allowed for a strong response to enemy attacks, or they might choose a line formation, spreading out to cover a wider area. This was especially useful in open terrain, where flanking maneuvers were a constant threat. When not in direct combat, the squad would use formations that emphasized security and awareness. During patrols, the scouts, Able team, would lead the way, watching for any enemy activity. The main body of the squad, Charlie team, would follow closely behind, ready to react instantly to contact. Baker team, with its firepower, would bring up the rear, providing cover and suppressing fire if needed. In defensive positions, the squad would dig in, creating an interlocking field of fire. Each man had a specific area to watch, ensuring that any enemy advance would be met with heavy fire. These formations, practiced countless times during training, became second nature. On the battlefield, they were the difference between life and death. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, and why don't you drop us a subscribe? Thank you for watching.